Hello, and welcome to day 8 of Business English 1. In our class on Monday, you had some brainstorming to do about what do you love. And you had a table to fill out with 9 different categories with people, places, things, animals, food, activities, entertainment, sports, and miscellaneous items. For each of those, you should have written down 5 things, at least 5 in each box. So that's 45 different items, plus added at least one adjective to describe each of those things. Okay, so that's your homework. That was your homework from the last class, and that is due today. Okay, so you need to make sure you email that to me by the end of the day on Thursday. And today we're going to do a little bit more work with that. Okay, we're going to do something called show and tell. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this before, but it's sort of a common activity that we do in a classroom sometimes. And it's exactly what it is. You show something and you tell about it. You explain it. You describe it. You share it with the class and talk about it. And so that's what we're going to be doing on Monday. Okay, so this is your assignment to prepare your next presentation. Okay, you've already done one little presentation, your self-introductions that you recorded on video and everybody has watched. This time, your next presentation is the show and tell presentation. Okay? And think of it like what I did in class. I want you to pick something that you love, something you enjoy. Okay? And it needs to be a physical object. So just like I did when we were talking about the Starbucks Frappuccino, talk about what it is, explain it to us, describe it to us, and tell us why you love it, why you enjoy it, why it is important to you. Okay? So, for example, if I was going to talk about my Starbucks Mocha Frappuccino, I could use all of those adjectives I talked about before. That it's smooth and rich and creamy and chocolatey and delicious, and it's convenient, and it's cheaper if I buy it at Costco than if I just buy it at the convenience store. I like it because it tastes good, but also the caffeine and the sugar can give me some quick energy. So sometimes I like to drink it in the middle of the afternoon if I'm feeling a little tired after lunch or after class. It gives me a little pick-me-up, kind of helps me revive myself a little bit to recover my energy. And so I want you to choose something that is important to you, something that you love. Okay? And it needs to be a physical object, something that you can hold up to the camera and show us. Okay? And you see me doing this because if I go to the right, my video goes to the left. Okay? So you might want to practice a little bit so that you can actually show us your item in the camera. Okay, so everybody can clearly see it. And then talk about it. When did you get it? Where did it come from? How much did it cost? Why do you have it? Why do you enjoy it? How do you use it? What do you use it for? You can physically describe it. The size, the shape, the texture, the color, the taste, whatever it is. Okay? So describe something to us. Show it to us and tell us about it. That is show and tell. So in your show and tell presentations, you need to choose a physical object. Don't talk about love or independence, because those are not physical things. You can't show those to us on the camera. Okay, it needs to be a physical object of some sort. Your presentation should be, again, about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay? Again, please don't go over 3 minutes, because we want everybody in the class to have time to do this within the class time. You may use cue cards if you want to. Okay, and just have them sitting on your desk or in front of your computer. Practice using size A6. Okay, write on one side only so you don't have to flip it around. And don't hold it in front of your face. We don't need to see your cue card. Okay, I don't care if you're using a cue card. You might feel comfortable enough talking about your item. You don't need a cue card. I would probably have one, at least some notes, just maybe the order, the sequence of things I want to talk about. Okay, but again, please don't use a script. Don't just read it to us, because that's boring. Okay, you're not going to have any eye contact if you do that, and you're going to sound like a robot. And this is something that you love, something that you really enjoy. So robots don't have those feelings and emotions. So talk to us about something that you are passionate about, something that is meaningful to you or special to you in some way. On your cue card, then, only use keywords. Don't try to write an entire script. Okay, like I just said, that will be boring. And write large, easy to read block letters so that you can see it easily, so you're not struggling to focus on it while you are talking. So you can use a cue card. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to use a cue card, but if you do, please use it appropriately. Okay? Now, on your previous presentations, your self-introductions, you recorded those and uploaded them to YouTube so everybody could watch. And that was great. And I think a lot of you enjoyed getting a chance to see your classmates and to introduce yourself to your classmates. For these presentations, we're going to go live. Last week we had a little practice session with Zoom. Okay? For these presentations, we are going to do them live in a Zoom meeting on Monday. Okay, so you have all weekend to prepare. This is a short presentation. It's about something that you're already familiar with. So it shouldn't, hopefully, be too difficult to prepare your 2-minute talk. Okay? But we will be doing them live in a Zoom meeting. And of course, that will be at our regular class time on Monday. The regularly scheduled class time on Monday. Both classes, you have about 20 students in each class. So expect this to take the entire class time. Okay? So you will be doing these live in front of your computer on Monday in front of your classmates. Now, we're going to make a few changes with Zoom. You may have seen in the news or on Facebook that there have been some security issues, some security concerns with Zoom, with people, they call it Zoom bombing. People who are not part of the group coming in and putting images or pictures or video on the screen and saying things and doing things on camera that are inappropriate and that interrupt. So we're going to do some things to prevent that, to guard against that. And this is following the university's recommendation also. Now, Zoom itself, the company, has made some changes, and we are going to use some of those features now to protect ourselves so that we don't have an invader and an attacker in our chat. So, I told you before that you did not need to create a Zoom account. That has changed. You will need to register. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's very quick. Okay? I will put a link on Kakao later to tell you exactly how to do that. Okay? But you do need to register. There will be a link to follow for the meeting like before, but you will also need to enter a password to join the meeting. Again, I will send that to you this weekend. Before the meeting starts, please check your camera and your microphone to make sure that they are working. Check your microphone to make sure that the sound level, the volume, is acceptable, that it's appropriate, so that we can hear you. Make sure your camera is working so that we can see you and the item that you are showing us. Okay? These are going to be live presentations. Please choose a quiet area. Avoid noisy coffee shops and cafes and restaurants. If you're at home with your family, if they are home, make sure you're not in the same room with people making noise or with the television or something. Okay? So plan ahead so that you can have a quiet area, so that you can hear everybody, you can hear what everybody is saying, and also so that we can hear you. So there's not other noise, and also if you're in the middle of a coffee shop, you may feel kind of shy and afraid to speak up. And that's part of this, is you have to speak up. You have to be loud and clear enough so that everybody else can clearly hear you. Okay? So make sure you have a good, comfortable place to work from, to participate in the class. Make sure you have good light. There were a few people last time that had a really bright light behind them, a window or something. And so all we could see was a silhouette, a shadow of you. Okay? So make sure that you have some light on your face so that we can see you. So we can see your facial expression. So we can see your eyes. So we can see the item that you are showing us. Okay? Make sure you have good lighting. So if you need to turn so that the window is in front of you, so that the light is coming towards you, or at least to the side so that we can see your face better. Okay? So again, check that before the class begins. Make sure you have a good location with good light and quiet. During the class presentations, you will be listening to everybody describe something. Please take a few notes. You don't have to do detailed, but at least make a note of what each person presents, what they show us, what they are talking about. You've already got a list of everybody in the class from these self-introductions. So you might want to have that on your computer, or even better, print it out so you can write on it during the Zoom class. For the presentation order, if we were in a classroom and I could see everybody and you could raise your hands and come to the front of the room more easily, then we would, I would take volunteers. Whoever wants to go first, go first. For this, it's a little more difficult to do that. So what we're going to do is the order that you are listed on the the self-introductions. That's by student number in this class. The 4-digit number, starting with ending in 01, 02, 03, 04. Okay, either in the first class, 1101, 1102, or the second class, 1201, 1202. That's the order we will go in. That will just make it simpler. It will make it go faster, and that way you know when it is your turn. Okay, so that you can be mentally prepared. So don't ignore other people, but make sure that you're paying attention. Take a little note when each person speaks. What are they talking about? And again, if something is memorable to you, something really interesting, write it down. Okay? All right. So that is what we will be doing in Monday's class for our show and tell presentations. I will be sending you a YouTube link. I'm sorry, not a YouTube link. A Zoom link for the meeting, as well as a password. Make sure that you are registered. Make sure that you have a quiet area with good light. Make sure that your camera and your microphone are working. And make sure that you are prepared with your object, your item, whatever you're going to show us. Okay? Now, one more rule for this. You cannot use your phone as the item that you want to show us. Okay? I know that you all have phones. I know that you love them. I know that you enjoy them. And that's too easy. And I'm afraid that if I allow that, we'll have half a dozen people talking about their cell phones. Okay? And I don't want that. So, no cell phone for your item, your object that you love. Okay? Now, if I were going to do this presentation, this is what I would talk about. Wait, John, you just said we cannot use our phones. Oh, I'm not. I would use this. I would use this case that is on my phone. Because this isn't just a, let me get it up closer to the camera here. This is not just a protective case, but you can see here maybe it's kind of thick. And if you feel it, it's pretty heavy. This is actually a battery case, okay? Let me take my phone out. To do that, where the camera is here, I just put my thumb there and just gently lift. I don't want to pull the phone straight up because then I'll break the little piece that goes into the charger, and I just slide my phone out. Okay, so there's my phone, all right? And this is the battery case. You can see inside here, it's got some diagrams and directions. And I love this one because when I put my phone in, you can see here the lightning charger. Let me get that a little bit closer. The lightning charger just goes directly into my phone. And then on the bottom of this, and this is going to be hard to see, on the bottom of this, it uses a lightning cable, just like my phone. So I don't need an extra cable, a different type of cable. A lot of these battery cases, you have to, even if the phone uses a lightning charger, the battery case itself might require like a micro USB cable. So you actually need two cables if you're charging the phone separately sometimes. This uses a lightning cable just like the phone, which makes it much more convenient. I like this one too because it's solid one piece. I've had some of these in the past where it was kind of cut across the top or across the bottom. It was and you pulled it apart. It was two pieces. And sometimes one of those pieces would become loose and would fall off. So it wasn't really a good design. This one is a single piece. and it protects my phone all the way around on all four sides. Okay. Now it is a little bit heavy when you first feel it, but to me, I've gotten used to it, and I actually prefer it, because if I'm just holding my phone, it feels so light, and it's so thin, it's hard to hold on to, and it's also very slippery. So if I set it on my leg, or sometimes even on the table or something, it like jumps off very easily. In the battery case, it's smooth, but it's not slippery, so the phone doesn't jump off of things as quickly. And if it does happen to fall, it's protected inside the case. Okay? And this will fully recharge my phone at least once. So I can go all day and night a lot of times without worrying about my battery dying. Now, let me show you the other thing I like about this. When I put my phone in, I just slide it in real gently, slide it in, and then this piece in the bottom, the little lightning charger, slides right into the phone, and the phone snaps into place. Okay? Now, right now, you can see my phone is not charging. Okay? On the back of this, there is a button down here. Again, it's black, so it's a little hard to see. If I press that button, you can see here there's just one little, if I press it, there's one little light that comes on. Okay? There's actually 4 lights, but right now this case is almost dead. Okay? So there's just a little bit of charge left. That shows me how full the battery is inside here. Right now it's just got one light, so it's almost dead. Okay? But listen, if I hold it down for a couple of seconds, I hope you can hear this on the camera. I'll see if it picks it up. I'll hold it down for a couple of seconds. I don't know if you could hear the little ding as my phone started charging. And now if you look up here in the corner, you can see that the battery is charging. Okay? So, I can charge my battery while I'm using the phone, and I don't have a cable or anything holding me down. Also, when I plug it in at night, when I plug it in with the cable, it will charge the battery case and my phone at the same time. So it's really, really convenient. The last thing is some of these battery cases, the name brand ones, the popular ones, are really expensive. They cost $100. I got these on Amazon for about $30. So they're much, much cheaper. And they've actually lasted me much longer than the more expensive ones that I bought in the past. Okay, so I really like these, and they really keep my phone going when the battery dies, or to keep the battery from dying. So this is what I would talk about, my battery case. I love it. It's great. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about today is when you're doing your presentations. I already said make sure that you speak up, speak loud enough so everybody can hear you, and also focus on your pronunciation and enunciation. You want to speak, you want to say things correctly and clearly so everybody can understand you. Okay? And so just go back and practice some of these things we talked about before. The red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Practice it with me. Red leather, yellow leather. 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 Practice that. Kind of help loosen up your tongue. Okay? Practice that before you do your presentation, just to kind of warm up a little bit. The other ones we looked at, some of the tongue twisters. She sells seashells by the seashore. she sells seashells by the seashore. Or this one, she sells seashells, sushi, sashimi, sheepskin shoes, slippers, and sandals beside the shiny, silvery seashore. Now you can pause the video here, of course, and listen to these and practice them. The other one, she sells seashells on the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. And if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. That one's hard. That's really hard. She sells seashells on the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. And if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Work on that one, okay? Or this one, swan. Swan swam over the sea. Swim, swan, swim. Swan swam back again. Well swum, swan. Swan swam over the sea. Swim, swan, swim. Swan swam back again. Well swum, swan. Okay, guys, that's all I have for today. Make sure that you prepare your item, a physical object, whether it's something you can hold in your hand or something you can drink. It doesn't really matter. A lot of you have already posted things from the attendance check on Monday. A lot of you already posted things that you love, things that are special to you. That may be what you want to talk about on Monday. You don't have to. You can choose something totally different. That is your choice. Okay? All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you on Zoom on Monday afternoon, live at regular class time on Zoom. Thank you.